the Something Else podcast.
So it's the second episode of this awesome series that's only just started. And we're going to do something a little bit different. It's going to be Wednesday night with the wife. This is where I'm joined by my wife in my little podcast. Wife, say hello.
Hello.
And how are you this evening?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm okay. We won't talk to everyone about how I'm struggling to get 2 microphones set up.
No, how long have we been sitting here for now?
I just said we won't talk about that.
You mean the last at least 45 minutes?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
we won't mention it.
So we're just using one mic.
Yeah.
So last episode, I spoke about theories in children's cartoons, and I was definitely surprised with how quickly they can turn into something ridiculously horrible. Obviously, you've seen some of them. What did you think about them?
Disturbing, I think
Definitely.
comes to mind. It's just a bit weird about how some people perceive these cartoons, and you think, how do they come up with these theories and
I think the thing that I noticed was none of them are happy.
No, everyone's depressed.
The Fireman Sam one, he's about him going into like some heavenly haven. Thomas the Tank is Fallout. I think the only happy one was the fact that Postman Pat shags everyone. That was the only good one.
Lucky Postman Pat.
Exactly. Well, have you seen some of the people in that town? Anyway, so this episode isn't about postmen that shag everyone, delivering first-class services. I won't do my puns. I did that last time. But this one, we're taking a trip down. It's mostly going to be a rant and a bit of a moan, because of my terrible technicalities of not being able to get 2 microphones working. I kind of came up with an idea on the fly. So this one is called The Greatest Inventions Never Created, or Ones That Just Aren't Needed. So I'm going to start it. There's a YouTube channel called The Endless Adventures.
Brilliant.
My wife loves it. It is brilliant. It's just a couple that basically are on an endless adventure, and they go to some crazy places. They went to a Brum once, and they quite enjoyed it, really.
Surprisingly.
But I know. Yeah, I mean, if we're from Brum, we don't enjoy it. But they've just done an episode. It was on yesterday, and this invention, it's not so much an invention. It's been around for a while, but whoever made this has just made it better. I'm probably going to get his name wrong, but John Crapper. I'm serious. He's a bloke that made the toilet, hence the crapper. I really don't know if I'm telling the truth here. It just sounds familiar. I saw it on Instagram once. It's got to be real.
It's got to be true then.
But basically, the toilet's been around for a while. You take a dump or a wee and flush it away. But the one in this endless adventure was the most amazing thing in the world. It was an incinerating toilet. You poo, it burns, it goes away. They ignite your poo. The only thing that scares me is I can break some good wind. And we all know that we contain a lot of methane.
Just don't fart when it goes off.
That's the thing. We know the fire triangle. I'm scared that my butt cheeks on that seat connect both sides of that triangle. But other than that, I think that's one of the greatest inventions.
A bit of a tip for that. Just don't flush it while you're on it.
But would the water just evaporate?
There's no water.
Oh yeah. But how would you flush it then? Do you just poo in it? But that would stink.
No, because what happens is there's 2 bits of metal, and you put this paper tray thing in it. You do your business.
Hang on, so you put paper in fire?
No, well, essentially, yeah. But basically, they put this bit of paper in this shelf thing in the toilet, do their business. Then that bit goes into the 2 metal plates open.
So there is a flushing mechanism in that sense.
Yeah, and it drops down, and then they have to press another button, which then incinerates it.
Oh, so you're not pooping on... I know it's not a flame, so you're not going to get a...
No, there's actual flame down there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just like a grill or something.
No, there's a flame and it goes...
God, that must be a hot toilet.
Apparently it doesn't smell either.
I would beg to differ with what comes out of me. But yeah, so you get the point. We've been speaking almost 5.5 minutes of just me talking about poop.
Your favourite subject?
Yes, it is. I talk lots of poop. So I've wrote some down that I think are useless inventions, and I'm going to see if my wife agrees. If she doesn't agree, if she doesn't, she's off the show. So, so my first one is like, I'm not so much anti-tech, because I do love tech. I mean, the very table we're sitting at is literally surrounded by tech that I'm not even using because I can't get it bloody working.
We're not talking about that.
No, we're not talking about that. Don't bring it up. But everyone is mad on Bluetooth headphones, especially those little AirPods that iPod sell. That Apple sell for what, £200 million?
Mm-hmm.
Now they are good, I will admit. They're not. I don't think they give the best quality sound, especially for the price you're paying. But you know, it's Bluetooth headphones. You don't have leads everywhere, especially Apple headphones. My God, the cord on that, you so much as look at it funny and it breaks. It's an invention that doesn't need to be invented because they've gone back on themselves now. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's basically a headphone lead you connect to your AirPods so they don't fall out.
So you've created earphones.
Yes,
Wired
you've created wired earphones. They've done it again. Like, I have a pair of headphones around my neck that are Bluetooth, or I can plug them in. Listen.
Oh, hello.
That's right, I unplugged them. I didn't actually plug them in. I lied to you. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't get why they made it, because the one thing I'll give any form of iPod headphone, I keep saying iPod, I want to say Apple. Either way. But they fit really well in the ear, whether it's the buds, the pods. You know, they do have a good fit. They fit in the ear really well. So the likelihood is they're never going to fall out. But I know why they made this is because I'm pretty sure if one of them falls out, if you take one of the headphones out, your music stops or something like that.
I'm not sure, but probably.
I don't like Apple.
No, I don't use it.
To be fair, what I wanted to do with the microphones would work on a Mac, but we're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that.
No, we're not talking about that. Bastards. But I just don't think it's something that you need made. You know, I'm going to put in my Bluetooth headphones, wireless. I'm doing the motion as if I'm, you know, putting my hand through wire that's not here, because I don't even wear my headphones now. But I don't think they need it. Why would you want to wear Bluetooth headphones with a lead that goes around your neck? The very reason they made Bluetooth headphones was so you don't have a lead aggravating your neck. Ooh.
Yeah, not good.
So what's your thoughts on it?
My thoughts is just Apple money grabbing again. I can imagine that lead's not a £5. I can imagine it's got to be like.
Tell you what, let me have a look.
Have a look. How much is it? I can imagine it's at least 20 quid onwards.
AirPod headphone lead on Amazon.
Oh.
I mean, this isn't the like official
Branded.
branded. It's not the official branded one, but it's £7.
But still, you could buy a set of headphones for £7.
£8. But that's the thing, like I said, their headphones, I don't think they give you the greatest quality of sound. I found it was quite flat. Like some headphones, they're way too bassy. Like when Sony Walkman first came out, not the Walkman, but the phone Walkman, the W810i, I want to say. Robert, if you're listening, please clarify. But that phone was amazing. The headphones were bassy as anything. Like Megan Trainor, you ain't got nothing on them. But Apple just gave you good clarity of sound, but the EQ was off for me. But they do fit well in the ear. But this lead...
Shall I wind you up a bit more?
Go on.
I think I'm subscribed to the Apple... I think I've bought some form of Apple product in the past, and now I get the emails getting, advertising more things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get an email, literally probably within the 45 minutes that we were setting up earlier. Then it was headphones that are over the ear headphones.
So you got over the ear ones, yeah?
Yeah. And they're Bluetooth. For £550.
What?
£550.
Just to clarify, I love headphones. It's the one thing my wife knows not to buy me. Unless I tell you what to buy. But in all credit, was it during lockdown? My headphones broke. Our little boy, the monster, he broke them. I mean, in all fairness, he likes listening to music. Mostly his own voice. He's got my little recorder I used to record band sessions, and he could hear himself. But obviously children don't know how to work headphones, so he's pulled the headband part of it too far and it snapped. So my £30 headphones from Aldi finally broke, but they had really good sound. There were noise cancellation and everything. So I was a bit gutted, trying to wear these, I don't know, elephant man shaped headphones on my head. And she brought me some, but she kind of went off like on her own. She didn't ask. She just looked at some that was similar. And she brought me, I think they're called the Motorola Escape 500s, which is ironic if them other ones are about 500 quid. But these were what, 50 quid, give or take?
Not even that much.
Not even that.
They're in the sale, even better.
But I mean, even if you go by, the recommended retail price,
probably...
you're looking at about 50 quid.
Yeah.
And these are probably some of the best over-the-heads I've ever worn. They're comfy, they're light, the Bluetooth is amazing. The one thing I'll give to them that I haven't found in a lot of noise cancellations is these ones work.
Maybe.
Like, if I switch it on, I can't hear it. It's brilliant.
That's not very nice, is it?
We won't talk about that. But yeah, I just think they've gone backwards with that one. I mean, it is something really. It's a really picky thing to moan about, but I'm right. If you buy them
for the reason that you
buy them,
the purpose of what
to
they
whip them, to whip the employees at Apple. Walk in there and say, you see these, and whip them. Not anywhere in a silly place. I'm talking about right in the cleft of the lip. Get that, because that hurts. That's what you need to do. But we won't talk about the silly headphone lead anymore, because we've been talking about it for far too long. We're going to move on to another one of something that I really, really, really think is stupid. It's a gimmick, and they've suckered in children. They're the hoverboards. Or, I remember when they first became big, they were called space chariots, they used to call them.
Oh, the ones with the two wheels and
so basically you've got
them.
a skateboard that goes forward, but the wheels there's two and they're on the side, and you basically have to pivot your feet. Essentially, that's what they are. Yep. What would you say about the hoverboards?
I personally, I've never been on one. I'm too scared to get on one because I'm going to fall flat on my face on them. But I think they were designed to be aimed at adults at some point. Yeah. To get somewhere.
I think it's because loads of.
Now?
It depends where you go. They are illegal to ride on public pathways. Basically, if you're on public property, you're not allowed to use them. But this is the one part I'll give to the defence of the hoverboard, space chariot things. Even the knockoff ones. As soon as your feet come off, it will stop. It's all motion censored. That's the one thing I'll give to them. As soon as your feet come off, it stops. It jiggles a bit on the spot, but it won't move.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure they were made because it was... Sam knows this. Like, I firmly believe anything like this is because of Wall-E. Or Wall-E, or however you want to pronounce the Disney film. It is Disney, isn't it? I know it's Pixar.
Yeah. Disney
but,
Pixar.
I don't get them. Like... I watched, this was when I used to work near Birmingham City Centre, I watched a man on the path with one of these chariots, or hoverboards, rolling along. But because, if you've ever walked through Birmingham, I'm not talking about the roads, I'm talking about the paths, you will hurt yourself because they're crap.
I fell over them many times.
Me too. And this guy basically got off his hoverboard, switched it off and carried on walking. Now I followed him because I'm not weird, but I was going the same direction, and basically he walked a good 20 minutes.
What was the point?
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight I shouldn't have followed him to his house, but I didn't know he lived there.
Is that what the police was called for?
We won't talk about that. But it was just the fact that, yes, they've got the big wheels, you've got two pretty large diameter wheels, but they're the same freaking wheel as them micro scooters from back in, the late 90s. Oh, they're great if you're on a freshly tarmacked piece of pavement. But you so much find that one bit of cigarette filter and you fall. It's like hitting a mountain. And that's what's wrong with these hoverboards. They make an awful noise. Like... That sounded awesome, I bet. But they're just crap. They make no sense. They don't last long. And it's for lazy people.
That's why they're just on with the kids at the moment. It's just they'll play with it for a week or so in the summer, and that'll be it.
Exactly. And the best part is, like, the amount that kept blowing up. I'm like, well, don't buy them in the first place, but if you're going to buy them, buy a real one, like a branded one. At least you know they're guaranteed in some form.
Yeah, definitely.
But what I was getting at before was they were made to help transportation, really, wasn't it? To get from one place to another, basically from home to work.
Yeah.
Because that's what the government want us to stay in work. But it was, I see them all the time, especially since you've got these electric scooters around and you pay with card or whatever and you rent it out. But they did it with, what's it called, the one wheel or something like that, where it's a skateboard and it's just got a solid wheel in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Or you've got the ones where it's, I'm going to do my best to describe it, but it's a wheel that's between your feet and you've got 2 foot rests.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing as a hoverboard. And it's just to get people there quicker. But you know what the best thing is? You know what the best thing is about walking? You get fit. No. You actually, believe it or not, if you walk...
What these legs things are for?
See, these hip arms with your leg hands, they were designed to move you.
Yay.
I mean, it's just common sense. If you walk, you'll feel better. Your well-being will skyrocket. You'll burn a little bit. You might break a sweat, but you know what? You will feel accomplished.
Hang on. I've got a better idea. If you wanted to get somewhere a bit faster, you could use these what did you call them? These hip arms, and move them quicker, and you could run.
See, running. I mean, I won't lie. I'm crap at running. I'm pretty much an old man now. Turned 30 the other month, and I feel like I've died.
Walking sticks come out.
Pretty much broke it. But I just don't get them. I mean, yeah, they're good fun. You can have a laugh, but how many times are you going to spin in a circle? You know what I mean? I think the best thing is just to give it to people who you know are going to hurt themselves. Here you go, Dad, have a go on this newfound dangle device. And then he busts a kickflip or something, you're like, I won't talk about that.
Well, the thing is, you could film it when you give it to these people, you know they're going to fall off. Like, if you could probably give them one to me. Film it, send it in till you've been framed, if that's still going.
I have no idea.
You get 250 quid, you get your money back, and you've made a profit then.
No, you ain't. The bloody boards cost that.
True.
But yeah, another picky one, but I just think they're a waste of money. So Ted, even though you're asleep, you're not getting one.
No.
My next pet hate, or an invention I think doesn't exist. Now I am going to stir many pots.
Ooh,
I am.
Go on then.
Spoons. No, I'm joking. Smartwatches. Hear me out.
Okay.
I've had a few in my time.
You have?
I remember, and Dad, I know you will never listen to this, but I remember when, especially in secondary school, high school, however you want to call it, you bunch of freaks, phones were like such a significant part of life. Like, if you didn't have the latest phone, you're an outcast. You're that, you know, fermented, leprosy-riddled lion. You know, in the kingdom, you're the one that gets exiled. And my dad kept finding all sorts of way crazy Chinese phones. And I remember once he got a phone, and it was the first phone I'd ever saw with flash on it. It was a 3.2 megapixel camera with flash. I'm not lying.
Now.
It even had a tiny circle mirror, so you couldn't even see your face to do a selfie, but you could do it. No other phone had that. And it was a bloody loud phone, which I liked because the music was great. One of the first phones to use MP3 as well. But I'm kind of getting off track here. But I remember he brought a smartwatch. So I'm probably going back, 2004, 2005?
Showing your age now.
Shut up, we won't talk about that. That crack then was the chair, not my back.
It was his back.
And the watch, it was literally a mobile phone in a watch. You could call people, like it had a microphone on the face, it had a speaker and everything. You could attach headphones to it, but who wants to do that? I'm into Star Trek. But the problem was, it just wasn't practical because it was huge. You know, we're in 2004, so like, it looks like you're carrying a Pip-Boy from Fallout. But it worked. You could take pictures very badly because of where the camera was. You could do everything your phone did, and it worked as a phone. But for me now, smartwatches, I've had the Huawei Band 3. I've had a couple just doing demo reviews from like places like Avon. I've had a go on Fitbits, you name it. I've tried a lot of them. But what I find is, yeah, I can, check a message or make a phone call. Can you make a phone call on the Apple ones? I've not tried Apple because I don't like Apple.
We don't have an Apple phone, do we?
We won't talk about that. But I just find you inevitably do the same thing. Take your phone out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless
I'm sure some of them you can reply back on. I think to messages or answer but you still need your phone within proximity.
I think it's the Apple Watches. I'm pretty sure them ones you can reply via text or something.
And the Samsung ones, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember the one Andy had. He had one, and I mean, you can do all sorts of stuff on them. I'm not saying they're bad. I just don't think they're worth it for the price range.
Not the
because
money.
you've got a great big square on your arm most of the time. So it's emitting all sorts of light. And you're going to customise the face, so you've got a pretty little picture. I did that. It was so annoying. I mean, you buy a smartwatch, which is all futuristic and digital, and what face do you pull on it? An analog clock.
Yeah. Buy a nice watch. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm going to buy this £300 watch that's got all sorts of technology in it. I'm going to make it look like an old one. But I just don't think they're worth it because you're going to have to take it off and put it on charge.
Yeah.
Whereas the watch I'm wearing now, it's had the same battery. Well, this is a new battery, but the battery previous, it's been in there for 5 years?
Yeah, at least.
You know what I mean? And this watch has seen me. I mean, it's literally just some form of G-Shock, something or other. But it's been through hell, and it still works. Where, if you fart, you break your smartwatch. The vibrations go. I've done damage. But I mean, what's your take on them?
Well, I don't wear them. Only I think I've bought into the gimmicks of them sometimes and being like, oh, I'd really want one of those because
I think it was the fitness side of it, isn't it? Check your heart rate.
Yeah.
Check your calories, your steps.
When I first had Ted, I was doing a lot of walking around. Obviously, just getting a bit of fresh air out the house and whatever. And I thought to myself, I'll get one of these Fit watches. It wasn't branded or anything. I'm pretty sure I got it from Aldi. But
Crane, I love Crane.
Probably.
That is a really nice brand. But carry on.
And I thought to myself, I'll buy one of these, and I see my little messages and whatever, and I thought I'd buy it for the steps essentially. Then I realised that it won't work because I'm pushing a pushchair. My arm's not moving. Yeah. So that was a waste of money, but I've got it somewhere. I haven't wore it since. And Ted's now 2.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's the problem with the cheaper ones, like the ones I found from places like Avon or the Crane ones. Mm-hmm. It was the motion of your arms swinging. Yeah. Where the Huawei Band one that I've got, the Band 3, that's GPS.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's not necessarily tracking your arm movements, but it's tracking the distance you've moved, and then it calculates like an average or an estimate, and it's really good. But I found, like, I now go to the gym again. Thanks, sister. I go to the gym again, and straight away I put my band on. So I'm on the treadmill, and it's it's telling me my heart rate's whatever. I'm doing this many steps, and then I thought, what am I actually going to do with this? I mean, heart rate, yes. I'm going to get it gradually lower, like the fitter I get. But then I don't really care about the steps. I've never cared about how many steps I do.
No, I suppose some people track it for weight loss and stuff like that. They go, right, okay, I've hit my 10,000 steps a day or whatever. And they do see the weight loss come from it, or the fitness side of things come from it, and that's where it comes from. But yeah, I'm personally not interested in it anymore.
I mean, if you go to mobile phones, we do go on our phones quite a while.
Oh god,
yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what you do, but I'm either on YouTube or Twitch or researching random things because I like to do lots of quizzes. Since lockdown, Zoom's been awesome, but we use the phones a lot.
Yeah, and I think.
The main reason I don't like the smartwatch is because it's making it even easier to get on the phone. Yeah. I mean...
one of my annoyances with it is when you're sitting in... I mean, like, I work in an office environment and, you sit there and half the people have got these smart watches on. And then all of a sudden, they're all lit up and you're like...
You're having an epileptic fit.
No.
Turn them off!
No, it's not that. They're all lit up and they're not in the meeting anymore. They're staring at their wrist, and you're we're having a meeting.
It's an interference.
Yeah, it's almost like me sitting there with my phone on the desk, going, oh, hang on, just
Yeah.
looking at my phone instead of being
It's a
involved.
ruder way to communicate, isn't it? Because essentially, you can sneakily do a little bit tappy. It probably looks like you're doing rude things underneath a table if you're a man or woman, really, or non-binary. I won't discriminate. But basically, I just think it's making society more distant.
Definitely.
I mean, especially...
Well, phones in general have done that anyway, but this is
especially
even worse.
with social media. I'm not saying social media is bad by any means, but I think... I work with children, really young children, so it's... Well done.
Sorry.
I work with... You do what I do. You can't stop moving when you sit down.
Fidgeting.
But I think because of how technology's advanced so quickly and everyone's addicted to social media, so it is like, oh, what are they doing? What are these guys doing?
Yeah.
And I think it's if children keep seeing us playing on our watches or playing on a phone, that's what they're going to do.
Of course they are. And then when they hit teenage years and all they do is stare at the screens and you wonder why.
Yeah. It's just down to moderation. But with smart watches, I just think...
No.
I don't think they're worth it because why use it if you've got your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's make it easier to do stuff, but you can do it on your phone.
Yeah.
It's like... I can't remember what phone you had, but it took amazing photos, like the depth of field, like the amount of bloody camera lenses on a phone now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a photographer. I love my cameras, and some phones can take absolutely astonishing photos. I think they even shoot in RAW now, which is phenomenal. But I'd happily still use my big hefty Nikon camera.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm just old now.
You are.
We won't talk about that. But, I mean, it's coming up to the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to talk about... It's kind of a two-part. I'm going to talk about my last one, which is pens with rulers. Oh, yes. I was doing some work yesterday. I opened my folder, pulled out my pen. I was like, wicked, it's got a ruler. I can finally draw these diagrams for my children. Squares, basically. And then I realised... my pen's in the ruler.
You need 2 pens.
Yeah. But you know what I did? I brought a ruler instead.
Yeah.
Now I've got a pen I can't hold because it's a ruler. And then I've got a ruler again. I've got 2 rulers and 1 pen. That's something you don't see on the internet. Don't really want to Google that.
No.
2 pens, 1 ruler. But, I mean, coming from this, it was just things that are useless. Like, I was literally, before I got angry with the setup we've got now, I was explaining the whole philosophy of a left-handed cup. I'm left-handed, Sam is right-handed.
I am.
So it's, for me, I was just saying a right-handed cup like a teacup or a mug. Wow, that was horribly brummy, wasn't it? A mug. But she didn't understand or believe me that it's real. And I was like, well, if you hold a cup in your left hand, the picture should face outwards in my eyes so people could see the picture on your mug. Like, what's the point of having a Costa cup when if you pick it up, the Costa logo faces no one? They need to advertise it, right?
Yeah.
So if you've got it in your right hand, it should be on the opposite side.
But wouldn't you, like, you bought a mug for yourself? You get your mug and you be like, oh, nice cup of coffee, nice cup of tea, whatever. You hold it and you bring it up and, like, I don't know, you got a nice picture of your kids on there. You're like, oh, look.
So it looks like you're drinking their brains.
Yeah, but like...
Right. So you're saying the picture should be there so you can see it?
Yeah.
Where did your eyes go?
Well, I don't think I can...
Like, literally, I've just...
I can't... I'm
But
like
you've got a small face and I've got a humongous Easter Island head.
I can't see over the cup.
Basically, when I'm drinking out... Well, that's a glass. I was saying that. The cup's got a bigger diameter on it. But basically, I'm drinking out of my cup and I can see straight over... You can't hear me because I've got my cup on the face. But I can see the picture on the front of the cup holding it in my left hand.
Down?
It's not... Well, obviously, to me, it's upside down. But to the person who's looking over me is thinking, whoa, look at that cup. I'm like, the who? But my point is, I just don't get it. Like, as a lefty, I prefer to use my dominant hand. I write with my left. I can cut out with my left. I can colour in almost within the lines in my left.
Do you want your stickers now or later?
We won't talk about that. But I think it's sometimes it's a gimmick. Like, I genuinely can't use can openers. She's laughing because it's true. I can't use a can opener.
No, he can't.
Like, how many have I broke?
Many of times he has come to me out the kitchen with a can of beans, broken can opener in hand,
blood on my hand,
can
tears
you
in
open
the
this,
eyes.
please? I'm like, What have you done to my can opener?
Yeah, seriously, it got to the point she brought me a left-handed one, and it works.
Not a useless invention.
No, but we will talk about that. But it's sometimes I'm looking at it, I'm like, it makes no sense. Like left-handed scissors. I think it's just become such a norm that left-handed people are freaks that we just get used to saying that. You know the school scissors?
Yeah.
When you get the red ones, proper normal.
Yeah, and the green.
Quote, normal, end quote. And then you get the green and yellow ones for the lefties.
Mm-hmm.
At work, holy crap. I saw a purple-handed one.
Did you get a bit confused?
I was like, do I use my feet? I was like, I can't. Is it two hands?
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do. I put it away. He went in the back of the cupboard. I put a little piece of paper over it so it couldn't be seen because I didn't know what to make of it.
You'll be okay. It's fine.
It's not.
It is. It's fine.
He's looking at me now.
It's still in your cupboard.
But that's the thing. It's like some things I'm like, why have you made that? Like, why?
Why?
It's like the amount of things. Like some of the things I really enjoy. I like the novelty things that have been made. Like I brought this particular thing I'll speak about for my sister a while back, and it was basically it's like a net kind of mesh material with I think it was a metal rim that you put over. It goes inside your cup for when you have a cup of tea. And what happens is
tea strainer type thing.
Kind of a tea strainer, but it's to catch biscuits basically. so it's a fishing net for biscuits. So if your biscuit breaks because it's too soggy and think, oh my god, I'm going to have bits in the tea. Because everyone knows if you drink tea and you dunk a biscuit, you're going to have that moment of time which lasts precisely 1.2 seconds, but it feels like an eternity where you think, do I get a teaspoon or do I drink it? Should I scoop it out with my hand? No, I burn my hand. And then you panic and just make another cup of tea. But this biscuit net, it goes in your cup, so if you drop it, just take it out. You know, nom nom nom. Hey presto, I win. That is amazing. Or the cups with the little slot to put your bickies in.
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
I brought my mum one. It's on the shelf, never used. Still has my I love you mum message.
She loves it that much that she put it up so she'd never get broken. Not even Ted's allowed to touch that mug. That's how much it means to her.
We know that's not true. But it's just little things like that I think are really good inventions. Like something really good. Like I have a fat head, right?
Yeah.
I've got sticky out ears. I am Dumbo. And obviously now you have to wear masks and stuff. And if you're one of those people that are like, oh, COVID's not real, I have no time for you.
No.
Because it is real. But the thing I love is the fact that you've got these, it's like bra straps to go on your earpieces on the back of your head.
Mm-hmm.
How amazing is that?
That's quite cool.
Instead of having achy ears that flick out because your face is too big, you can put this little bra strap in the back of your head. Your ear strap things hook onto it. You feel like Bane. You do feel like Bane. I adapted the mask. It's amazing. But, you know, I'm getting off subject. We're getting close.
That's a useful invention.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
That and the biscuit net. Best thing in the world. I mean, can you think of an invention that you think is either just, it should never have been made, or something that should be made?
Give me a minute to think. Hang on.
I'll tell you one while you're thinking. I'll
Okay.
tell you one that I think should be made. It's music based. It's music based. But they should do. Is it Matt Bellamy out of Muse?
Yeah.
Now I'm pretty sure he has one of his, because he uses lots of effects. He's a wicked guitarist, but he has lots of effects. But he's got like this touchpad built into his guitar, so he can basically simulate the effects on the floor.
Right.
Like stomp boxes or your pedals. And I know Converse did a pedal that's built into your Converse trainer.
Oh, okay.
So you plug in a lead, and depending on how you flex your foot, makes a wah-wah pedal. Loved it. But I think they should do something where, because I know you can do the guitars that fold away, and or you can get the ones where it's got, I don't know, a bass on the front and a 6 on the back. But I think they should do one where, when you strum, like if you do a bad note, because you see, obviously if you go to music shops, like guitar shops, guitar sort of thing, you get those shredders, and they do the same fucking riff.
Yep.
And you're just like, mate, no one cares. Get out. There's a soundproof room there. Leave the guitar in there and get out. You know what I mean? I hate it. So I think they should do something where, like, especially in guitar shops, where they've got a little button that's connected to the guitar.
Yeah.
And especially if it's a bloke, it has to be, like, I think of a different one. It's known that because we need equality. I was thinking, like, it just, like, shocks your nuts or something. Like, you press a button, it's like, I won't play that anymore. Basically, anti-theft or anti-shred bollock punches.
That could probably work. I'm sure the shops would love it.
Yeah, but then you've got to make sure you've got that padded floor. That's a terrible invention. It should never be invented. Have you thought of one yet?
No.
Ah.
I've got that mind blank.
I tell you what, they should make a bloody way to use 2 microphones on Windows.
Yes, it saves so much time. Oh, invention we could have. It might be a bit difficult. I don't think anyone's ever tried it. Many people have tried to get it. An invention to stop time so you can do things like this.
Ah.
Time stopping.
Actually, you know what invention I'd like?
What's that?
If you've ever watched Dexter's Laboratory.
I have.
Where he laminates himself.
COVID wouldn't be a thing.
Exactly. I mean, we'd probably suffocate, look like a really bad, like, vacuum bagged of ham. But that is amazing. I mean, he's slippy everywhere, and the noise he makes was amazing.
I've got an idea to like improve that. You just have like a straw at the top of it, at the top, because then
it's gonna have a filter though.
Yeah, with a filter on, it'll be fine as long as you can breathe through it. That'll be cool.
Oh, inventions are silly things. It's like, I don't know if it's true, but have you seen the whole SpaceX program?
Yeah.
The one requirement that Elon Musk had for the spacesuits was it had to look badass.
They did look quite.
They
badass.
looked awesome. They looked like something from, like, I don't know.
They didn't look like your conventional spaceman.
Oh God, no.
Astronaut.
But it was like Mass Effect. Sorry, that was the game I'm thinking of. It looks like something from Mass Effect, but it was like a man that owns one of the most futuristic car companies ever.
Mm-hmm.
A man that's getting people in space.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a man with brains. The man that make PayPal.
Mm-hmm.
His one requirement is it needs to look badass. What about breathability? It needs to look badass. Okay. Yeah, okay.
To be fair, I'd probably say the same thing.
Yeah, I don't want to look like a puffy man. I don't want to look like I'm wearing many layers of winter jackets.
I want to look like
I want to look like a Power Ranger.
Yeah, Power Ranger.
But I think it is just one of them ones, like some of the inventions, like Dragon's Den.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. How many things did you see on there? You think it'll never get anywhere, and then it did.
Yeah.
Or the things you thought that's gonna take off, and it didn't.
Yeah. Well, how many did they turn down? And
it was like, well, Brewdog was one of them, wasn't it?
One of
I mean, that necessarily wasn't an invention. It was just a drink.
They invented it, didn't they?
Yeah, but it's nothing that would, like,
not a technology one.
No, not so much technology. It's nothing that, like, for instance, like, this is one of my favourite things.
Go on.
I can't remember the bloody dates, but basically, the lighter was invented before the match.
Really?
Yes, by 7 years or something silly like that, in like 1863, and then it was made in 1870. Now, this is where invention and human race is stupid, because we put someone on the moon before we made a suitcase with wheels.
Well, it's like the classic thing of they spent millions of pounds making a biro that would work in space, and somebody would turn around and went, let's use a pencil.
Yeah.
I know there's like theories, there's not so much theories, but like reasons why they wanted to use a biro, but like at the same time they're like, just use a pencil.
Exactly. I mean, we'll end it just because it's almost like a 40-minute stream. A stream? Streams. It's almost a 40-minute cast, but I think the problem is it's obviously we all think differently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm in love with my biscuit nets and my left-handed can openers.
Yes, that's a necessity. In
But it's like, I just think sometimes, like, is it necessary? I mean, for everyone listening, just think of things you maybe brought because you got suckered into the gimmick. You know, how many things you've brought and thought, oh, you know what, yeah, I need that.
The thing is, it's now when you're looking for presents for people, you're like, that it pops up on, like, at the moment, obviously, a lot of people are using Amazon and stuff for present hunting, and it's like, you type in gifts for Dad, gifts for mum.
Yeah.
And it pops up and you're like, what is this? And you think, well, you know, like...
I mean,
it's
the
so
novelty
random.
aspect's brilliant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you buy them and then it's one of those, you get brought it and you think, oh, this is really cool, and then that's it.
Something I might do for the next cast, which is, if you want it done, ask a lazy person. I see it all the time, especially with Amazon or like Wish.com. That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, they're cable tidies. So it looks like a little cat, and it hangs on your desk, and it's holding your wires, and it looks like you're playing with a little ball of yarn. But then, if you look at life hacks, you know, like I'm going to say like crocodile clips. You hold your paperwork together. It's the little triangle piece of metal with the two arms.
The bulldog clips.
It's the bulldog clips. Basically, someone used one of them, and it worked exactly the same.
Yeah.
That, you know what? That's going to be the next podcast.
Okay.
If you want it done, ask a lazy person.
They're going to get it done a lot quicker.
And a lot easier.
Not a lot easier.
Not necessarily quicker. Well, it would definitely be quicker, but
it won't be so... Maybe not safety aspects to things,
God,
but,
no.
you know, they get it done. It works. It's fine.
But yes, that will conclude this cast about greatest inventions that have never been invented or not needed. It's been a pleasure to have you on the cast on the Wednesday night with my wife. When she gets in, I'll let you know.
But tell her the washing up needs doing.
Washing needs doing. But yeah, I'll see you later, dudes, and yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you very much.
See ya.
Bye bye.